We can see us.
Right,
Yes, thank you. Awesome. So, hello. Welcome back to Once Upon a Game, welcome to Once Upon a Game, the story game role-playing show. I'm your host and facilitator today. I'm Eric Fulgaris on all the internet, stuff like that. But you're not here to watch me talk about role-playing games. You're here to watch us talk about role-playing games. And who is this us? We have an amazing cast of 4 people to join me today. And I'm just going to go down from right to left, ask you guys to introduce yourselves. And so I'm Eric. I'm he, him. And yeah, I do role-playing games on the internet. So I'm super excited to do this thing. So Kira, take it away. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Kira McGran, she, her, and I recently started a Patreon where I'm designing a whole bunch of weird experimental tabletop role-playing games. So if you like those, follow me. I think you can see my Twitter on here. I don't know if not.
You can.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's me.
Yay. Thank you. Luke.
Hello, everyone. I am Luke. They, them pronouns, please. By day, I am a professional GM for children. By night, I design role-playing games and also appear on shows like this one with my friend Eric. That's also fuck the Australian government, but rock on Australian queer people. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yes. It's
today.
Yeah, it's
best result we could have hoped for.
Yeah, it's why is it's after listening to you while we're getting through the technical stuff today, it seems like why was this an issue to begin with? And that seems like
because we have a right-wing government at the moment.
Very frustrating.
So we have a right-wing government at the moment.
Okay. Cool. And while Adam's taking care of some stuff, Kika, who are you?
Hi, I'm Kika. Nice to meet you. She, her pronouns. I am pre-med student, long-time tabletop RPG player, and super nerd who does too many things to get any of them done.
Nice.
Well, what kind of role-playing do you do these days? What games are you a part of?
Well, I'm on this. I am also on a Torchbearers game on Sundays over at Henley Stream with Eric running that. And I'm getting together some friends right now to play test a campaign that I'm working on writing, and I spend way too much time world building than actually writing the story.
The most relatable of fields.
The mostest relatablest of fields.
Like, this story is cool, but let's write out some of this deep history that no one's ever going to interact with.
Let's talk more about economics. I want to hear about barter. And
let's put cyberpunk into my fantasy city.
Oh, yeah. Into it. Also, while we wait for Adam, I would like to shout out Eric. Blackwell says, Blackwell Holiday M, who did the beautiful piece of art for Olympus Overdrive, is in the chat.
Oh, you did?
She
that
was
you?
the very talented artist who did that lovely picture.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that so much. I need to share that out. It's so good.
Yeah, we should share that on Twitter. We should get to that. I forgot too. I was like,
I need to see that.
It's in Discord. Like, in general, I don't fucking put it somewhere in
general. And it's super good. But if you want to see it right now, yeah, you can head to my Discord. Oh wait, that doesn't seem to be working, which is a problem. This might have broken down when my stuff crashed. So 1 second.
Look, we just talk about trolls, Eric, while you do your thing, and also while Adam introduces himself. Adam, please.
Yes, Adam, welcome back.
Hi, I'm Adam, aka Dark Lavender Void. I make a game, a virtual tabletop role-playing game about reality TV stars and the ultra tours that watch them, called Mortally Bankrupt.
Yes.
Now, trolls.
Yes. So now, okay, with that all done, Adam, pronouns.
My favorite kind of trolls.
What were your pronouns?
They.
Cool. Thank you.
My favorite kind of trolls.
Yes.
I like Irish trolls. I think Irish trolls are really interesting. I also like Japanese trolls.
I'm not that particular. I just like organic trolls. I'm not really into the artificial trolls, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a huge
I-
fan of internet trolls.
I feel like someone needs to write a hack of Trollbabes that has the same title but is actually just like a troll like dating show RPG or something.
I would play that.
That
It would be a great game.
So, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here today. And before I jump in to describe what the Trollbabe role-playing game, I'm going to take a quick moment and say that, hey, we are playing a game, and it's a very special game, and it's always a special time to come together and play role-playing games. There's a lot of mind melding and sharing and creative agreements and sometimes disagreements that happens when this goes afoot. Some of us know each other, some of us don't, so we also don't often know different things that might be troubling. And so I ask that everybody here be vigilant and aware of what's comfortable for you, and if it's okay, and if it's not, and if it's something that's discomfortable to you, to voice that, and be aware if somebody's kind of like, after you introduce something, someone's like, they get kind of more quiet about something like that, and maybe realize that you might have overstepped, and not just rely on somebody to speak up all the time, just a little bit of just awareness and just making sure everything's okay, because safety and having a good time in role-playing games is what it's all about. We are people playing a game first and foremost. That's more important to me than anything. So I just want to make sure that everyone's okay and cool. If we mess up our pronouns, I know we said it and stuff like that. Remind us, that kind of things. So with that all out of the way, I think we can begin to discuss what Trollbabes is. Right? We all cool? We all cool with playing a game like that with those considerations?
Can we use the X card?
Yes, as a weapon. I always you're right. The X card for me is always like sort of like the it's not the beginning of the conversation, but it's definitely the end of the conversation. If you use the X card, you can do your arms with an X, you can type X, or just say like, hey, I'm gonna X card that out. All that stuff is perfectly fine. Like we agree to drop it. And you know what? That could happen within 30 minutes. That can happen within 30 seconds. It can happen within 2 hours. We're smart people. We can work around it. All right. We are smart, creative people on a stream. And if you think you're not, you're lying to yourself, because you are. You're beautiful and you're wonderful. So I believe in all of us that we can handle that and make sure that we're having a safe, fun time. So let's talk about what Trollbabes is. Trollbabes is a super fun game by Ron Edwards. It came out way back in the day, in the halcyon years of 2002.
Yes.
And we basically play half human, half troll, badass women, badass Trollbabes.
Babes,
Babes.
as they are known.
Yes, as they are colloquially known. We have powers of magic. We have powers of fighting. We have powers of guile and charm and social skills. Oh, that's true. So, Kika and Kira, can you remind us what your pronouns are for Adam, because they were away?
Mhm.
I am she, her.
Also she, her.
Okay, great.
Cool. And it's awesome. So, once again, Trollbabes playing badass Trollbabes who are kind of like just super awesome, trying to solve a problem or have some sort of like overall goal that they need to accomplish. And we're going to see what that is through play. So it's going to be fun. Technically, there's a predisposed setting. It's very like Nordic, Celtic amalgamation. You can think of it that way. There are tribes of trolls. There are families and cultures and regions and things of humans. And oftentimes you have conflicts between them. You can have conflicts between inter-trolls or inter-humans, and et cetera, and any sort of variety. So it's not just cut and dry humans versus trolls. Okay? So basically the entire, if I can sum up what the game is about, it's about being someone who is half troll, half human, so someone who doesn't quite get along and fit into one of these worlds, basically trying to solve problems and figure out their role in the world and figure out how to help the world. So it's a really fun game in that respects, in that general sense. And with that being said, I have a little bit of notes and things like that. I decided to just write down and put down as sort of like maybe what we can make this game about. But if we don't want to do it this way, we want to do something different, we totally can do that. That's fine too. And then also, I guess the other big part is that the world is or like the game's gonna be played essentially like we're all kind of like solo characters, but you can like interweave each other into different stories. Like we're all kind of our own protagonists. And then we're going to kind of like group up in different points and change and and there'll be a lot of switching around through the different stories, kind of like Polaris in a way. All right, so I know I just rambled along for a bit, but that's sort of the gist of the game.
It's awesome.
So let me talk a little bit about what I have here. I made up a duchy called Kronberg, and the idea here is that there's a duke and a duchess without an heir. So basically, these are all hooks for how our trolls could come into this world. And if you want to like follow one of these hooks, or you want to come up with say like screw you, and I want to come up with some my own thing, I'm cool with that too. But the idea is that we're in a duchy called Kronberg. There's a duke and duchess without an heir, and there's been more and more wolf activity in the area, and the people of the duchy do not feel safe. The most remote villages and hamlets have been retreating to the larger and larger towns where there's large walls to feel safe behind. But if you prefer more about what's happening in the troll regions and things like that, troll magic is sort of fading away. And what is troll magic? Well, we'll see, right? And why is it fading away? We don't know. We'll see. In the woods and in the wilds, there's more and more like fae activity, and I describe that as fell wolves and other shadowy denizens of the eternally twilight middlelands that are encroaching on this realm. And then last but not least, another tribe of trolls have entered the area from the south seeking refuge. But are they telling the truth about their refuge? What are they hiding? So,
what are their kinship structures like?
Yeah.
If we make a marriage alliance, does that mean anything to them? We don't know.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Questions.
I like your ideas, Eric.
Okay.
I think we should keep them.
Cool. So if we're cool with these ideas and you want to think about what you want to do, perfect. So then here's the thing that how this game works is that everyone has one stat and they have sort of 3 derived stats from this stat. And the way this works is you're pick a number between 2 and 9. All right. And what's going to happen is that this number between 2 and 9 is going to determine whether or not you're good at fighting, whether you're good at magic, or whether you're good at interpersonal stuff. And the way this works is that, so let's just do an example, right? If my number was 7, right? Let's just say my number was 7, right? If I did 7, then for me to be good at fighting, and to me to like win in a roll of fighting, I would have to roll a 1 to a 7, right? Like, yippee, that's good for me, right? Excuse me, if I want to interact, it's 1 to a 7. I misspoke, right? If I want to do magic, it's 8 to 10. And if I want to actually like do fighting, it's 1 to 6. So like interpersonal. So in other words, in the most abstract way, the way the numbers work, and maybe it'd be easier just to start with like one person's the guinea pig to see it, right? But like interpersonal and social stuff goes from 1 to the number or the number to 10, whichever one's the biggest one. Right, fighting goes from that number 1 to that number, and then magic goes from that number to 10. Right, so like it's like a variable. If you can imagine, if you're only good at one thing, if you played 316, it's kind of like having fighting and non-fighting ability being split up between 10. It's in that sort of way. So like if you're good at fighting, you're not as good as magic.
For other game comparisons, lasers and feelings.
Lasers
of course. And John's a big fan of this game, so that makes sense.
Only
I should have jumped to that one.
Only there's a third stat, which everyone is good at.
Yeah.
Because everyone is good at talking in this game.
Yeah.
Which I like. I think that's a good job, Ron Edwards, if you're watching. Strong design decision.
Right. So, once we're cool with trying to get an idea of what our number is like that, then there's a couple of choices you can pick. It's sort of almost like Powered by the Apocalypse tags to give yourself for what your magic, your specializations of magic, your specializations of fighting, your specializations of social stuff. Right. And I'll describe those once we get to it. Is anyone like chomping at the bit right now to get started and being like, I know what kind of troll I want to be?
No, go ahead. I'm good. Oh,
Kika. Yes.
Can I be a shy bard?
Yes. Absolutely. So let's talk about being a shy bard.
Okay.
That sounds like an excellent idea for a character.
Yeah. So let's talk about being a shy bard. Do you think this is are you more of like as a shy personal bard, or like a meek bard and someone who probably isn't good at fighting? Do you mean someone who's reticent to like speak their mind, or someone who's reticent to get into fights.
Getting
Can it be
fisticuffs.
both?
Oh, yeah, yes, it can. So let me ask you another question. Do you see someone who's more into fighting or more into magic?
More into magic.
Or both.
They're very timid and don't really like conflict very much. And even though they really enjoy music, they usually don't like showing off.
Okay. So then you probably want to pick something that's on the lower number side, and I'll leave it. I'll
I was
leave
thinking
it to you.
3.
Yeah, cool. Let's do that. So you're first. We're gonna be my person in the top left. I have a bunch of names as handouts in Roll20 for you to look at if you need them, or if you have a name already. You could totally choose that. But all right. So let's do this. Let's derive our numbers now. Sweet. So you chose the number 3. So what that means, right, is that for fighting, for you to win at fighting, you have to roll a 1 or a 2.
Works for me.
For you to win at magic, you have to roll a 3 to a 10. Excuse me, a 4 to 10. And then social, you take the longer of the 2, whichever one's the better one.
Yeah, 3 to 10.
That's 3 to 10. Cool. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that you can specialize in with your magic, your fighting, and your social stuff, right? Your tags that I was referring to earlier. So, do you want to be better? Do you think yourself as drawing your magic from the troll side of magic or the human side of magic?
What's the difference between the two?
I don't know. How about let's talk about what could be the difference between the two. For me, I can kind of see it. I think it's kind of preset that troll magic is a little bit more like, I guess, the paganistic style magic, and then maybe human is a little bit more like from a book-y, occulty style magic. Your hand is raised.
Let me stop you there, Eric.
Okay.
Because that's boring and it's been done.
Christian versus pagan, like Vikings.
Yeah, right? Like,
yeah.
What if, just hypothetically,
I'd be happy to change this. I'm just saying what is sort of like defaultly assumed.
What if just hypothetically instead human magic was real like pagan and earthy and involved the spilling of blood and waving around dead birds and bats and stuff? Because humans don't have any of their own magic. They got to get it from nature.
Okay.
Right? And what if troll magic was all about weird, like, God, I'm just trying to, what's the fuck is the word that Jack DeKeat always uses in fucking Friends at the Table, Lem King, someone help me out here. What the fuck? How do the archivists do their magic?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Semiotics is the word I'm looking for.
The geometrics of shapes and things.
Yeah, right? Like it's all about like the precise arrangement of like objects and like really perfect angles and like precise like sub-vocal tones and stuff. And trolls like can do this like instinctively, just know how the thing needs to be arranged to make the magic.
Yeah, it's like physical harmonics is another way of
exactly
resonance.
Yeah, geometry.
Feng shui.
Yeah,
feng shui, right?
Right, very much.
That is my suggestion for a more interesting artificial binary than just Christians versus pagans. Prosecution rests, Your Honor.
Exactly.
Can I have a spell that's just bees?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you could have bees.
Of course.
Does it have to be a religious dichotomy, this thing? Are we talking about it too much?
No. See, I was thinking more of it being kind of like shamanistic versus like rigid occult. Like the difference between something could be like a druid and someone in the Illuminati.
You are still describing a religious difference.
Yeah.
You just named 2 religious organizations.
Well, as soon as I saw the Trollbabe thing, I immediately thought of queer metaphors because, half troll, half babe.
Yeah.
And
my God, it's the femme-butch dichotomy. I love it.
That's just where my brain went, but I don't think that's silly, probably. That doesn't make sense.
Look, Kira, hit me up. We'll write that game. That's a different game. We'll write that game.
Cool.
Yeah.
I also want to pitch another option.
I'm listening.
The trollish and human magics are also straight up defined in the book, and I have them right in front of me if we want to use those.
Yeah, how do you define them?
Cool, I will read these. Trollish magic is all about invoking and communing with the untrammeled wilderness of any kind. It usually deals with whole areas, like a river, a lake, a mountain, the sky, i.e., immediately above, groups or types of animals nearby, and similar. It is especially effective or nifty when performed in groups. And human magic is an individual scholarly art based mainly on altering body function or behaviors. It is performed mainly through hypnosis, potions, and other stagey methods. A typical spell is cast by opening a phial and spraying a fine mist about, or by lighting a candle and intoning a mesmerizing chant.
That's sure. That's a much more eloquent way of putting what I was suggesting. The first is sort of like a more practiced wizardy, ritually style magic versus a more invoked call upon magic.
Yeah, but I'm also all down for throwing all of that away and doing our own thing.
I definitely like the alternative, but we're doing Kika's character, and Kika wants to do bees, and let's have Kika decide. You're going first. You get to sort of set the tone.
Sorry, Kika.
No pressure, Kika.
Disclaim decision making. Apocalypse World.
You're the magical expert, so tell us.
Only I could have been raised by elves and then shirk the responsibility.
Yes.
I really just wanted to do like more nature-focused magic in whatever, form it might come from. I do sort of like the weird geometries thing, or not like weird, but like the specific geometries to invoke certain spells, and like one could possibly like use their own body for doing certain things in that, like a lot of hand gestures and things, and wearing funny jewelry. So maybe I might go with that and have that be troll magic.
Okay. Works for me. Sounds good. Troll magic.
Troll magic.
Yay, troll magic. So the next part for fighting and social. So fighting, you can either be kind of good. Once again, these are all things that kind of just flavor who you are and not necessarily mean that you are limited to just doing these things this way. Right? Okay. This is just to help you get a better picture of your character. Are you someone who would probably fight unarmed? You would fight with a handheld weapon. You would fight with like ranged weapons, or are you not really a fighter and you're just really like athletic?
I would fight with pure panic.
So athletics.
I guess.
The Rincewind School of Martial Arts.
All right, and then socially, do you find your character? If you were to give your character a trait, would you describe them as scary, sexy, fun, insightful, feisty, or perky? Ron, this is the list. This doesn't limit your approach, but these are your choices.
Perky, as in your horns.
You do have horns, not antlers.
Yeah.
Social bees.
Social bees, yes.
Is there like an option that I can have where I just like make everybody around me feel kind of bad for me? Like, oh, okay. I'll just...
Adorable?
Yeah. I mean, I would allow adorable.
Okay.
Good for me. Sweet.
Adorable makes us feel bad for you because you're so adorable.
Yeah, we're just like, oh no, bad things are happening to a cute puppy. Oh, I don't like it.
Oh, innocent? Would it be better?
Maybe, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd allow that.
I'll allow it.
Cool. Now we have to talk a little bit about maybe like some character details, as well as some items that might be important to your character. But maybe, how about we come back to you and we jump to someone else, and then you have some time to think about it.
Okay.
Cool. So who wants to go next? Who has the magic number?
I do.
Okay, Adam.
The magic number is 8.
Ooh.
8 of what suit?
8 of clubs. This
That
character's good at hitting things.
That means your fighting is 1 to 7. So what do you think you are with fighting? Once again, are you unarmed? Are you like a handheld person? Do you have like a bow or something ranged or like a javelin or something? Or are you just athletic?
I kind of want to be athletic.
Sure. And while magic is not your forte, where do you think you fall on the magical spectrum? More to the troll side or the human side?
Oh, I'm definitely the human side. Well, which side were we talking about? That's all about the correlations of things. Because when
Troll.
I do, okay, cool. Then I'm troll all the way.
Okay. Awesome. And then what about you for a social trait, which for you would go from 1 to 8? Scary.
Oh, I think you were on a different level, but
No. You're right. That's the part I was getting to. Cool. And by the way, do you have a name for your character too?
Mhm.
Okay, I will totally get that name from you. What's the name? Do you have it in mind, Adam?
oh, I was frozen for a second. What did you?
Oh, do you have a name for your troll babe in mind? Or should we come back?
Yeah, let's come back to that.
Cool. All right. So similarly, think about a little bit of like hairstyle, what you would wear, and then come up with sort of like a human item and a troll item that you would have with you. Okay.
I love how committed Ron Edwards is to the very specific aesthetic of this game. He's like, no, your hair, like your big 80s hairstyle is very important to the game. You have to describe it on your character sheet.
Yes. Yeah.
God
it's literally
bless.
shaggy, spiky, bushy, silky. Or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
on that. Like,
Yeah. So, all right. Cool. Luke or Kira, one of you guys would like to go next?
Okay.
I mean, I'm ready to go, but Kara, if you would prefer, please.
No, you should go, Luke. I'll go last.
All right, cool. My number. I think my number is 4.
Okay.
What numbers did we choose so far?
3, 8, and 4, I believe.
Yes. Awesome. So.
My fight is 1 to 3.
Correct. And how would you describe your fighting?
I would describe it as, well, if I were feeling pretentious, I would say gentle. But if I were being more practical and straightforward, I would say wrestling.
Ah, okay, cool. And that means your magic is 5 to 10.
5 to 10, and my magic is human magic. I got all those weird spoopy nature animist waving dried bones at people powers.
Absolutely. And then 4 to 10 is your social. And how would you describe your social trait?
Is spoopy acceptable?
Spoopy?
Yep. Like
Sure.
spooky, but in like a kind of like slightly endearing way.
Yeah.
Like approachably spooky. Spoopy.
Spooky in an endearing way.
Yeah.
Like a silly skeleton.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, and I have a name for my character.
Silly skeletons.
Yeah, because my troll is going to be a Cornish troll because I've spent way too much time yesterday researching Cornwall, and it's just in my brain. So my character's name is Meriasek. Meryasek.
Can you type that into chat and then
Yes,
May
yes,
I
I
copy it?
can.
no problem. Yes. Cool.
Yeah, a good traditional Cornish name.
Cool. And I'll extract those. Cool. And but last but certainly not least, Yura.
My number is 7.
Cool. So then your fighting is 1 to 6.
Yes.
Pretty good. How would you describe your fighting?
My fighting is ruthless.
Do you fight with a weapon?
Yes. I don't know what kind. An axe?
Yeah. Cool.
Ruthless Axe. That could be the name of your character.
Ruthless. That's my first and last name, Ruthless.
Ruthless Axe, the Trollbabe.
I also have a guitar.
Yeah, that's what you meant by axe, I presume. Cool. And then, what kind of magic?
The other kind of bard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw that movie, The Devil something. It's like a metal horror movie. It's on Netflix. I'll tell you later. What kind of magic do I have? Troll magic.
Cool.
What's that human magic? That's heathen bullshit.
And then what about social? How would you socially describe yourself?
Oh, I'm actually very friendly and down to earth.
In Ron Edwards terms, that would be fun. According to the taxonomic
Taxonomy of
according to
Edwards.
Edwards.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. In the same way that all role-playing games are either gamist, narrativist, or simulationist, all hairstyles fit within fluffy, floofy, sleek, whatever the other two are.
Cool. So, all right, Kika, have we had time to... Thank you so much, Kira. Kika, have you had time to come up with a couple of things about your character?
Yeah.
Okay. And your name is Radmir?
Yes.
Radmir? It's Radmir, I presume, right?
Yes, Radmir. It was either that or Broadwin.
Okay.
It's an excellent spoopy picture, by the way,
Thank you.
in the Discord.
Cool. Have all right, and what kind of things how would you describe your character?
She has a lot of really shaggy, knotty, tangled hair. And it's sort of like a light red. Like a bright red, sorry.
Mhm.
And she has sort of going back and forth between ram horns and goat horns.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna go with like the big goat horns.
Yeah. Cool. And then what do you think, what would be like your, what are your items that you think you're carrying with you that are important?
My carried object, it would be like a little amulet made of like sticks and pebbles tied together to make a sort of geometric charm of luck.
Lucky troll amulet.
And a found object would be a human book on how to deal with social anxiety written in a language that she can't read.
Oh, this character needs a Netflix series. I would watch 22 episodes of this character trying to learn how to fit in.
Yeah, and so do they try to fit in wearing like clothes and styles of humans or trolls, would you say?
Depends on where she is for the most part.
Okay.
She basically will try to assimilate into any group that she's in, but not really do it well.
Okay. So then you carry extra clothes to change into.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then the last thing I need to know from you is sort of like the hook about your character and what is your goal? What would you like to see at the end of the session today of like trying to solve? Like what kind of thing is interesting to you?
I want to solve a murder. I don't know. That's actually hard. I'm not. It's hard to decide when I'm not actually sure where in the world we're gonna be. You know,
Kronberg.
Does
Kronberg.
it have to do with the plot that we're involved in, or can it just be something personal?
It can be personal. It could be like I want to get redemption for some, or it could be absolutely something like that sort of goal-based play. That's more intrapersonal. Totally. Like if you're, like if you're in search of your past or in search of a home, like that kind of stuff makes great fun, right?
Yeah, I guess I might be looking for a place where I can settle down and maybe join a music group.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So you are ready to go. Just move this all to the map layer so I stop grabbing it. Cool. Who wants to go next?
I'm ready. I'm all set.
Okay.
I am under control. So, my hair is shrubby because it's literally like a shrub.
Okay.
It is like green and vegetation colored and grows in a shape very much resembling the kind of shrub that grows upon a cliff. That is what my hair looks like. My horns, I have two of them, but they're like narwhal horns. They're like curvy and spirally.
Oh yeah, like an ibex.
No, like literally like narwhal horns, Eric. Like the horn of a narwhal, but there are two of them.
See, okay, that makes more sense because
did you forget that narwhals were real animals from
No,
Eric?
I know that my brain got messed up when you said the plural of narwhal horns because narwhals only have one horn, and so I got confused. I was like, is there another narwhal that
the two-horned, the obscure two-horned,
the two-horned
Norwegian narwhal? Yes.
Right. So I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
About
So
that.
like imagine two narwhals had their horns just snapped off and then stuck on my forehead.
Yeah, totally.
With hot glue gun, because this is a really bad 80s fantasy movie. So the special effects aren't very good. My two objects are a troll object, so something I just found laying around, which is a human book that washed into the cove at the bottom of the cliffs on the morning tide. Piracy, it happens. So I found just like a discarded, half rotten, saltwater stained human book. So I got one of those. I can't read it. Don't know what it does. Good for hitting people in the head though. And then I have a human object, which is a troll horn that has then been carved and shaped into like a drinking horn.
I see what you did there.
I defy you and your binary taxonomy, Ron Edwards. Screw you. And then was there another thing we needed to pick? Wasn't there? What was it?
I need a name from you.
I've already given you a name, Eric.
You did?
Mariusek. Remember, you couldn't spell it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. It's just I would have remembered if you wrote it.
I sent it to you in Zoom chat.
Okay. Thank you.
And then
so
I think I wear like my clothing is just weird. I think it's all like woven from weird grasses and shrubs that grow around the cliff top. So I like make my own clothes. It's just this big like shapeless cloaky thing that doesn't really have any fashion cues in terms of what it's meant to be.
Yeah, it's
a garment that keeps me warm. Because that's all you need from clothes.
Functionality over form.
Exactly. And my quest, my goal, the thing I would like to see by the end of the session, I might be told no because I'm being too specific. What I would like is to confront the dragon that is drinking all the magic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a dragon, and I wanna fight it.
Is it a
Or maybe
dragon that
talk- or maybe
exists,
talk
or
to
a
it.
dragon that you're just convinced exists?
Or a metaphor. I don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But that's super.
I'm
good.
not sure. I'm not sure how the setting of stakes works in this game. Whether I've made that true by saying that, or whether
You did. You definitely did.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So yeah. It's like maybe a metaphor. I don't know. It's a real metaphor dragon.
It has a
The real kind of metaphor.
Cool. All right, cool. So we got Radmer and Mariusek. Who wants to go next? Adam or Kira?
Kira, do you want to go
Okay.
next?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Do it.
Okay.
All right. My name that I chose from the name list was Raka. It's Raka.
Cool.
And I can't remember the list of all the things.
Hair. Horns.
Oh, hair.
An item from humanity, an item from troll stuff, and then your general style if you have one. Who would you blend in more with?
Your fashions.
Fashions. Your
On your
travels.
hook. Okay. So I imagine my hairstyle to be like this beautiful, lush, brown, big Bon Jovi hair. Just like it looks like it might be Muppet hair, or it might be belong to like a beautiful man.
Oh yeah.
It's David Bowie's wig from the film Labyrinth.
Yeah, but like browner.
Yeah. Just it belongs to some sort of glam metal.
Yes. And there are like these trinkets that are tied into braids within it that like dangle and jingle and stuff. And there's some that fall off of her horns too that are like, they're like my horns that I'm LARPing this evening. They're kind of like, I think they're like sheep horns, right? Or ram horns. Does it look like that? I can't remember. They're curly and big.
Mhm.
And also brown. Like the hair like matches them perfectly.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, and there's like decorations in the horns as well. And then the objects are next, right?
Mhm.
And so the carried objects is a long cloak that her mother made her before she left home. And it's embroidered with all kinds of natural geometric patterns, like kind of like a quilt or something. And because I just watched Ilias Grace and there's a quilt in that. But and then the found object is a set of knitting needles, but she doesn't have any yarn. So sad. And her style of clothing, I think she probably wears like troll style clothing, I think. Yes.
What does that entail?
Well, I think she came from like some kind of farm or something, or maybe a caravan, like one of those two. Maybe a caravan. So maybe like caravan gypsy-ish clothing, or wanderer clothing, if gypsy is not a good word to use.
So like flowy but functional would be a way of describing it.
Yeah, and kind of a little decorative.
Yeah.
But like not in a rich way, in like poor way. Like she doesn't have money, but she has decorative clothes. Yeah. And her hook would be that so by the end of the session, she just wants to help out other babes understand how cool they are deep within their hearts. And not just the other PCs, like any babes that might not know how cool they are.
Not just troll babes, all babes.
All babes.
All babes.
All babes everywhere
It-
across the land.
Anyone deemed as a babe. If you're a good person. I guess that's what a babe is. I don't know.
Help all the babes of the world realize the
Yeah.
magic's inside of you the whole time.
Yeah, that's right, baby. Being a babe, it isn't about how you look on the outside. It's about what's inside your heart.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Babies shine bright.
Cool. And then Adam.
Perfect. Cool. So I think I have like thin white hair that flows like really long and then maybe like kind of gets split endy towards the end.
Long hair.
And against that, creating contrast, are these dark gazelle horns that kind of like loop, not really loop, but like kind of like bend backwards. And they're just
Oh, yeah.
enormous. They're like easily way bigger than my head.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I can see that. You said your
Mhm.
hair is blonde, right?
It's
Or
like
light.
white.
Oh, white. Okay.
Mhm.
White hair with dark gazelle horns, like like
Mhm.
sloped back, very pointedly straight.
Mhm.
Right.
Maybe
Is
my
that
troll
what gazelle
babe's
is? Yeah.
older than I'm imagining initially. Maybe I'm the oldest among us.
Sure.
Hmm.
Cool by me.
Interesting.
Nice. What are so 3 things left? Your style, if you're more like of a troll or a human style clothing, a human item and a troll item.
I am into troll like clothing, so I think I have like kind of like a long dress that's made out of like this dark black moss.
Okay.
And my human item is a whole fuck ton of rope.
Cool. Got it.
And my trollish item is a whole bunch of mushrooms that grow off of my shoulders and my arms and my back.
You've got mushroom shoulder pads. It's so 80s.
Mhm.
Oof.
Lovely. And then
Speaking of cannibal.
your character's name is Burra, right? Is that what that symbol is?
Thora.
Thor.
Thora.
Do not know. Oh, of course that is, because that eventually became a TH. Of course.
Mhm,
I see it now that
There
I'm
you
looking
go.
at it.
Now you're here. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, because the
Perfect.
B's backwards. I'm dumb. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
You're right. Okay, lay it on me. What's your hook?
I want to climb the largest mountain in this area in Kronberg.
Why do you want to climb it?
Yeah, what are you trying to prove?
So that I can make a name for myself.
Oh,
I can be like in record books and things.
I thought you meant you were going to build an inn at the top of the mountain.
Oh, but that would be good though. Oh, that's even better because then there's no way you can dispute that claim because then you just look up there and now that's way better. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I would have just gone up there to shout off the top of it at the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you can't shout at anybody else. Oh,
Oh.
because you're so
Right.
shy.
So, cool. Now we made our characters, and I'm gonna do a quick little like spiel about like how the game kind of works, and then we're gonna go to our break, and then we're gonna come back and start with the scenes. And so like just real quick, so the way this is going to work is that while everyone is sort of going to be taking turns doing like their main like character, I'm going to ask you one at a time, being like, okay, so where are you? And you're going to establish a scene, and this is kind of universal about the game. You establish a scene. You instead of rather saying like I want to can I have a scene at the marketplace, or can I have a scene at this thing, or so this thing is going on right now. Like something like that would be setting up the scene. And the next part here is that not just you, not just the GM, any player can introduce a conflict in the scene. And typically a scene will only have one conflict in it. And they're sort of like, if you're not in the scene and you're calling for a conflict, that means your character is entering the scene. So like that's sort of like the only thing about if you're not in the scene calling for a conflict. Then lastly, what is a conflict and how does it work? We describe how important this conflict is based on how many rolls it's going to take to solve it. And it's sort of like a 4th edition skill challenge-y kind of thing, where like a certain number of success wins, depending on how important like a blow by blow would be 3 successes, right? A medium conflict, I think, is just sort of like a little bit faster dramatic is 2. And then if you want to do it all, it's 1 success. And there are certain things you can do to allow for rerolls. They're listed here underneath everyone's character sheets. So, for example, if you wanted to, if you mess up and you want to win, you can call in for a one-time only a carried object or a geographic feature that lets you get a reroll, and you have to explain why that works, right? And that's sort of the idea. We'll talk, and then so if you fail, then obviously there's consequences and twists like mouse guard would. I would leave you in a worse state or something changes or you're injured or blah, blah, blah. And then we go to the next scene and we just keep repeating and that's kind of the flow of the game. Okay. So that's awesome. I need to break. I need to get a little bit more water and then we'll be back. So in 6 minutes, we'll play out until 9 o'clock. The amazingness that is Trollbabe. So don't go anywhere unless you're getting some water, and we'll see you guys on the other side of a 6-minute break. Take care.